Hi, it's Eben Pagan. In this video series, you'll learn how to create your own online course, book, or teaching program and use it to build a business that helps others around the world. This video is called How to Find Your Big Idea. In the first part, I'm going to explain why knowledge has now become maybe the most valuable thing in the world. Then I'm going to explain how I found my own big ideas that I've turned into online courses and books and teaching programs, and also how this has led to me creating my dream lifestyle. And then finally, I'm going to walk you through an exercise to find your own big idea for an online course or a book or a digital product. Then in our second video, we'll take your big idea and we'll turn it into the outline for your course or your book so that you have a starting point to build on. And then finally, in our third video, I'm going to show you how to launch a business based on your course or your product, or to grow the business you already have with it. And I'm going to give you a huge download of marketing and business growth ideas for building your business online. Okay, so have you already thought about teaching a course online or writing a book or creating maybe an audio or video program? Have you noticed the growth of online courses and just seen everybody going online to take courses and thought to yourself that this might be something that you should do? Does the idea of an online business sound interesting to you? Does the idea of working remotely all the time and working virtually make sense to you? If you're answering yes, then this video series is really going to open your eyes, and it's going to walk you through the first steps to getting started and to getting there. So something I want you to keep in mind. I've now launched and built over 10 different teaching brands to $1 million in sales, some of them to a lot more. Some of these have been my own brands, some have been in partnership with others, helping them do it. I've done this on topics as diverse as dating and productivity and business and money and more. My students and the people that I have coached and mentored have now sold literally billions of dollars worth of products and services online. I have a lot of experience teaching this material, and I've developed some great tools that I think that you'll enjoy using to organize what you know and then put it all into a course or a book or a teaching program. Now, a lot of people have benefited from this knowledge that you're about to learn, and I honestly believe that it can change your life if you take it seriously and you use it. So why are we talking about online courses and books and digital teaching programs? Well, we've woken up here in 2018 into a miraculous world of learning. The internet has literally multiplied our power to learn anything, anytime we want. So if you're here right now, you probably already spend a lot of your time online learning from the stream of new thinkers and teachers that you can access now. Isn't it amazing to be able to go online and learn whatever you want, whenever you want to learn it? There has been a huge acceleration in learning by all of us going online to learn. And in the future, this is only going to increase because change is accelerating at work, in our personal lives, in our family lives, in our hobbies, and in our ability to make a real contribution and impact in the world. And all of this means more learning. Okay, I've read that young people right now who are entering the workforce are going to have 4 to 5 different careers in their lives and something like a dozen job changes before age 40. Okay, think about that. 4 or 5 different careers, a dozen job changes or more before age 40. And now everyone is also thinking about starting their own businesses or doing side work or picking up contracts and doing consulting projects. You may have seen Mark Zuckerberg in his Harvard speech talking about how now we're living in an entrepreneurial culture. Okay, well, all of this growth and change, it just means one thing. It means that we all need to learn more things than ever. The most in-demand thing and the most valuable thing in the world is now becoming knowledge. And, unfortunately, if you're wasting your time online doing things that aren't learning, then you're falling behind, okay? And that's becoming more obvious to everyone, and definitely more obvious to someone like you who likes to learn online. Learning, it's the way to get ahead in life and in business and in your relationships, okay? Learning is the way to get ahead everywhere now in life. And the key to understand here is that into the future, more and more people will become involved in learning and teaching online. Because knowledge, it has this power to make everything in your life work better, faster, be more efficient, And most people still don't get this right now. Okay, we have just reached the place where it's completely normal to go online as your first place to learn new things. Okay, to watch a video or to take a course or to read something. And again, we are just at the beginning. This is going to keep growing rapidly into the foreseeable future. Okay, all the projections, all the news, all the reports, all the articles are saying that online learning is going to be growing tremendously in the future. And I predict that it's going to start making sense to everyone that they also need to become teachers rather than just the learners, and to start sharing what they know with others. And they're going to start realizing that this is a great path to personal and business success and to more fulfillment, okay? And to more doing what they love and making a difference in the world. And that's why I'm talking to you about this right now. Okay, if you've thought about teaching or creating an online course or writing a book or creating an audio or video program, now is the time to do it. There's never been a time where you can do it faster, easier, and have it turn out better. Let's talk for a moment about the acceleration of learning. While most people are being distracted by cat videos and social media, I am totally fascinated by what the internet has done for learning. I really think of the internet as this miraculous learning machine that has beamed down from another dimension and put itself here for me to use to learn and grow as a person. I estimate that the internet has multiplied our efficiency and effectiveness to learn by a factor of 10 to 100x just over the last 10 or 20 years. And I'm serious, okay? When I talk about 100x, I think that some people are learning 100 times better because of the internet. And I think I'm one of them, okay? So how could this be? Well, let's think for a moment about what learning was like before. Okay, if you wanted to learn something before, you could basically either read a book or maybe take a college course or maybe hire a teacher or a tutor, or in some rare cases, you could find a specialized information product like an audio or video course that you could learn from. But in the past, you'd have to order that and get it sent to you on CD or DVD or something like that, right? Very slow. So for example, if you wanted to learn how to play guitar, you could take a class at a college, but if you did that, you'd have to travel to class each day or take classes from, an average teacher at an average college, learn at the pace of all the other people in the class, and probably not learn the songs or maybe even the style that you wanted to learn. Okay? Now, there are other ways. You could read a book or you could hire a guitar teacher, but what if you want to learn to play guitar right now? Okay, you can go online and you can instantly find instructional videos that will teach you not just to play guitar, but teach you the style of guitar that you want at your level of playing, and taught by someone who's a great player, okay, not someone average. And they'll even teach you the exact songs you want to learn. And it's all free, okay? If you're serious and you want to invest some money in order to get something higher quality, okay, which many people do, you don't want to just hunt through a bunch of free stuff, you could buy an online course that can teach you guitar. And you can get that course from a teacher that's great at both playing and teaching. Again, not someone who's just okay at it. You can learn from someone who will teach you all the types of songs that you want to learn. You can do it at your own speed. You can fast forward the lessons. You can learn the way you want to at the speed you want to learn. Or let's say that you go online and you want to read a book about something. Okay, right now you can read reviews, you can see what experts that you would admire are reading, you can read sample chapters, you can zero in and find a great book before you commit to buying anything. Okay, and you can do it all in a few minutes. These are not trivial improvements in learning. Okay, if you read the best book on a topic versus, let's say, an average book, this is probably like a 10x improvement. Being able to find that book in a few minutes rather than researching forever and having to go to the library or, all the things we had to do in the past, okay, another huge improvement. Being able to learn when you want at your own pace, okay, this is a big deal. Organized, specialized knowledge is important. Napoleon Hill talked about how important it is to have specialized knowledge in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich. When you realize that you can supercharge your learning speed, that you can even supercharge your thinking and how smart you are, you can actually supercharge your intelligence by learning better and learning faster. All right, again, it's a game changer. And more people are waking up to this right now than ever before. Okay, your knowledge, what you know, what you learn, it is your edge in business and it's your edge in life now. More than ever before, knowledge is power, and the internet is spreading the power of knowledge at an accelerating pace. Knowledge, I think, is now the most valuable thing in the world. I think it's more valuable than money. In fact, I think knowledge is the new money. It's like the new currency. And if you just look around, okay, you already know this, you've seen this. More and more people are turning their knowledge, their experience, their hobbies, their stories into books and teaching programs and online courses, and using this as their platform to launch and build a business, a virtual business, meaning a real business that's all run online. You see this. You see the growth of all these platforms. You see the growth of companies like Udemy, and online you see like Masterclass now just blowing up. Learning online is now the new normal, okay? You're using the internet to learn more and more, but a lot of people, they still haven't made the connection that they should be doing the teaching. They're the ones that should be creating the courses. You're the one that should be writing the book. You're the one that should be the teacher and the mentor. In these videos, I'm going to be talking about organizing and teaching what you know and turning it into products that you can sell online that you can build a business with. I'm going to be using terms like knowledge product or online course or ebook or video program or audio program. These are some of the different formats available for packaging up what you know so that other people can buy it and learn from it. Right now, you're watching this video of me teaching. Okay, this is a little mini online course that's also designed to be a marketing tool. Okay, it's a sort of hybrid class where you can learn, you can get some great tools to get started, and then you can also take the next steps if you want, and you can join me for the next 90 days for my live classes and my mentoring program. Now let me share with you how I got started and how I created my first online products and my first book. I grew up outside of Eugene, Oregon in a little backwoods town called Walton. When I was 16 years old and a sophomore in high school, I actually dropped out of school. School was boring for me, and I wanted to be a heavy metal guitar player. I then went on, I started taking some classes at a little community college. But when I was 18, I got offered a spot in a band playing guitar, so I dropped out of school again to go on tour. I had hair down to here, and I thought I had made it. The only problem was that the pay was $75 a week. Now, my very first job was a little manual labor job that I got when I was 15. I made $3.50 an hour. I kept working on and off there for 7 years. At my height, I was making $10 an hour. I never made more than $10 an hour until I was in my mid-20s. And growing up out in the woods in rural Oregon, I wasn't exactly surrounded by models of business and financial success. In fact, I didn't know anyone who was wealthy and anyone who was successful in business. I didn't even know anyone who knew anyone who was. I moved out on my own when I was 22 years old into a little trailer that I traded for a guitar plus $1,500 in cash. The first month I lived there, I remember I couldn't come up with the rent for my little space that my trailer was on, which I think was $135. And I can remember when the first of the month came and not having the money and the pit in my stomach. And then the second of the month and the third of the month went by. And I had to go and sell one of my favorite guitar amps to come up with the $135 for my rent. It was really a low point for me. And if you can believe this, later things even got worse. Fast forward 9 years later, after trying all kinds of business ideas, being a real estate agent, being a marketing consultant, a bunch of other things, I woke up, I was 31 years old, I was $30,000 in debt, and I was unemployed. And I had to start all over again. But this time I had to start over with $30,000 in credit card debt, which, felt like I was carrying, a horse on my shoulders. Now, I was just about to try my next business idea when a friend of mine showed me how he was selling a PDF ebook online and making great money doing it. He was making fun of me for doing my normal business, and he encouraged me to try what he was doing. So I said, okay, and I locked myself in my bedroom, and in just a few weeks, I wrote a book about something simple that I knew. It was about dating, okay, a book of dating advice for men. So I wrote it with a pen name because I have a name that, isn't easy to remember, and, this is the internet. I had no idea what would happen. So it took me, another couple months to figure out how to make a website and set up a shopping cart and get web hosting. I'd never done any of this stuff before, and back in those days, my website would go down all the time. Web hosting was unreliable. It was really an interesting time. But I finally got my new self-published ebook up on my website and I started offering it for sale. And at first I would, sell 1 or 2 books here and there. As I mentioned, I'd never done any of this online business stuff before, so it was completely new. But I could see the potential. Okay, I would go to sleep at night and then roll out of bed in the morning and I'd roll right into the chair, with my computer in my bedroom and check my sales stats. And sometimes, I'd have someone in a different part of the world buy my book and I'd make money, while I was asleep. And those 1 or 2 book sales here and there, they were like a little candle in the dark. They gave me hope. Then, a few months into building my online business, something happened that changed the course of my life. In marketing, one of the things that you learn is that it's important to test the price of what you sell. Sometimes you sell more if you have a lower price, but sometimes you actually sell more if you have a higher price. And you don't know until you test. That's the interesting part. So one day, I raised the price of my ebook by $10. Okay, so when I first put it online, I was selling it for $29.95. And so that morning, I raised the price to $39.95. Now, it just so happened that a couple of friends were visiting. Now, I was living up in Los Angeles, and they were visiting San Diego, which was a couple of hour drive away. So I put up my little price test, and I went out and got in my car, and I drove the couple of hours down to San Diego to hang out with them for the day. So later in that day, after spending the afternoon with them, I asked one of them if I could use his computer to check my sales stats online. I was completely shocked to see that I had sold 10 copies of my little book that day. A new record, by far. I raised my price by $10 and had my best sales day ever. About $400 in sales. And I quickly did the math in my head. If I can sell $400 a day worth of these books, that's $12,000 a month. Right? If I can make $12,000 a month in sales, I am free. And I couldn't believe it. For 15 years, I'd worked hard in jobs, in businesses, as a self-employed marketing consultant. All of a sudden, I wrote a book about dating. No formal education, no degree, no marketing MBA, nothing. But I put my little book online and made $400 in sales in one day while I was hanging out with my friends. So then I added an opt-in page to my website and I started building a list of subscribers. I started to build my audience. Now keep in mind, I started with exactly 0 people on my list. I didn't even know what an email list was. I didn't know what an autoresponder was. I didn't know what any of these things were. But little by little, I found my way. I would email out tips about dating and I'd watch the sales come in. And after doing this for 8 or 9 months, I finally offered to do my first live seminar. 23 people paid to attend my first little seminar. I was so nervous that I could barely sleep the night before. Now the seminar didn't make any money, but I did something else at the seminar. I borrowed a video camera and I recorded it, and I also recorded it on audio. And then a few months later, I released an audio version of the seminar as my second product. And my business literally doubled overnight. So here's a little tip, right? If you have one product in your business, make one that's much more expensive and offer it to everyone who buys your first product. This alone can often double a business when it's done right. So remember, at first, I sold one of my PDF ebooks, and I sold them here and there for $29.95. That's not life-changing money or anything. But then I had my big $400 day a few months in. Then I added my opt-in page and I started growing my audience and my email list. So again, $29.95 is not a lot of money, but I kept at it, and by the end of my first year, I'd made $150,000 in total sales. Not too bad. But my second year, I did $500,000 in sales. And then I did 1.5 million in sales, and then 5 million, and then 12 million. And then I started partnering with other teachers and offering their products for sale. And things continued to skyrocket in my business. And then the call came in, Tony Robbins wants to interview you. So I went to San Diego to meet Tony, who's like this all-time hero of mine, and he interviewed me for his New Money Masters program, where I got to talk about how I had grown my online businesses and created these courses and I was teaching people. Then he invited me to speak at his Ultimate Business Mastery program with all these incredible gurus of business, which was amazing. I got another call from someone who wanted me to interview Sir Richard Branson on stage at a very special event. I did a talk at that event myself, and we raised a couple of $100,000 for his charity, Virgin Unite, and I was able to surprise him on stage when we did our interview. After the interview, Sir Richard asked me to come and interview him again at his charity event in Los Angeles, which was just a great honor. After that, I was invited to be a guest speaker at the USC Marshall School of Business. Okay, now this is one of the top entrepreneur schools in America here. And what do you think that I told them when I spoke? What do you think I told them that was the best idea for starting a business? Okay, of course, I told them to create an online program or a teaching course with the knowledge that they had and then to offer it to people online. And since then, I've now taught tens of thousands of people around the world how to do this. And I've watched as many of them have gone on to create online courses and digital products. They've sparked businesses, they've built the lives they've wanted, they've grown families. They're living the lives that they've always wanted to live. And you know, I'm talking about a lot of big numbers and big success here, and certainly the money has been good for me. But the best part wasn't even the success of the business. Okay, the best part was that it was an online business. So I run it from my computer. Okay, literally, I started it in the bedroom by myself, and now I run it from a computer wherever I'm at. And I liked that freedom so much when I started my business that I continued building my business this way. When I started hiring people and building a team, I built my entire company all virtually. Okay, no office. Everyone worked from home. And they still do. We have never had an office to this day. My online business, my virtual business, it freed me from commutes and being in an office and a schedule that, that I didn't enjoy, and it freed up my team as well. And why this is really important to me is the freedom and the flexibility that this has given me in my life. Okay, one of the things my wife and I enjoy is traveling. And my virtual businesses, they give me a ton of freedom to travel when I want to. So a few years ago, my wife and I, we decided that we were going to go traveling one summer. We were going to take our little daughter. So we went traveling over in Europe. And we didn't know how long we were going to travel, okay? And things were kind of up in the air. So we put all our stuff in storage and we just struck out. And we liked traveling so much that now, for the past few years, we've actually averaged 7 or 8 months per year traveling all around the world. Now, before I had this business, okay, something like that would have sounded flat out crazy. Okay, in the past few months, as I make this video right here, we've been to New York, we've been to London, Wales, Paris, Rome, we went to Florence, we went to Barcelona, we just went to the Burning Man Art and Music Festival, which was amazing, as always. We like to go to that every year. And what do you think happened to my business while I was traveling? Okay, nothing happened. I was able to teach and make videos and work with my team. People around the world kept investing in my online courses and my books and my education programs. All the while, they're learning how to improve their lives and they're building my business, okay? And everything just keeps thriving. So, do I need to work? Okay, sure, of course I need to work, okay? But fortunately, I love what I do and I love what it does for other people. And so while I'm traveling here, like the last few months, I had to teach courses online, I had to make videos. And what did I do? Right? I opened up my computer and I made them. I did all my team meetings while I was traveling. I created new trainings. I ran my business. I wrote a lot of the book that I wrote last year and this year while I was traveling. It's really interesting to be living like this, okay? It has its challenges, but my wife and I think that this is a really positive experience for our family, and it's really cool to have my little daughter growing up, visiting these other places, living in different places, and feeling at home in different cultures of the world. Now, the point is that I can be anywhere, and my business works because it's not based in a particular place. It's not locked into a particular location. Probably a third or so of our customers come from places outside of my home country of the United States. So I think that the more I can travel and learn about what other people around the world value, the better I can create courses and products to show them how to do what they want to do, and the better I can communicate with them. And this also speaks to the resilience and the power of an online business that teaches online courses and education. I like to make programs that have long-term potential, so that each of them becomes like a little business that makes money all by themselves. By the way, that first digital product, my dating book that I wrote over 15 years ago, it's still online, okay? And people around the world buy it every day. Since then, of course, I've created lots more digital courses and teaching programs, Most of them are still online. And again, each one, it acts like a little miniature business because it brings in customers and it teaches them knowledge to help them in their lives. And then that in return helps builds my business and my income. And as you can probably tell, I basically think that everyone should have an online course or book. If you have knowledge or expertise from a particular field, you should create an online course or book. If you're a coach, you should have a course that you've created. Okay, if you have a great story to tell, you should have a course or a book. If you're really interested and passionate about something, you should have a course that you teach. If you have a physical product business, you should have a course that you offer along with it. When we wake up in the future, we're going to see that having your own online course or digital product that teaches others the valuable things that you know, okay, it's not going to be optional. Why would anyone not summarize what's taken them years to learn and then offer it as a course or a product for sale online? And something I want you to keep in mind here is the world needs your course. The world needs your knowledge. There are people around the world right now who are at their computers typing in, saying they're searching for knowledge that you have, okay? And there are probably a lot of them. Okay? They're looking for solutions. They're looking for information. They are trying to find what you know, okay? All around the world right now. You should organize your information, your knowledge, your experience into a course that others can use to get the results and grow and get what they want in life. Okay, so how do we find your big idea? Okay, the spark that can become your online course or your product or your book. Well, first, we need to get into a headspace and a mindset for finding your big idea. The most important thing to realize here is that your big idea, it's not just a little trick or a play exercise. This is serious. If you're going to create a teaching program or online course that's going to attract students and customers who are going to pay you for it, okay, who are going to want to buy it from you, that will be fun and interesting to teach, and that will actually make an impact on people that they'll use, and if you want to do something that you're going to enjoy doing so you're engaged, then you've got to get this part right. In a way, your big idea, it's the bridge between you and your students, okay, or your clients. It's what creates the connection between you and your individual genius and your future customers and what they want to invest in and learn. Okay, so almost imagine two circles here. Over in one is your genius, your knowledge, okay, what you have to share. And then over here in this other circle is your customers, okay? And in the overlap of those, that's your big idea, okay? It's got to be something that connects. If you skip over this part and you just go and create an online course or a book or a class that's about something that maybe you don't really care about too much, you're just trying to, get it done and get a course out there, then you're probably not going to enjoy teaching it, and people aren't going to be particularly interested in buying it from you. And further, when you have a hit, okay, if it starts going somewhere, it's important that you're teaching something that you enjoy teaching so you have the long-term motivation to stick with it, okay? I can't emphasize this enough. You want to make sure that you're teaching something that you're personally passionate about and something that will help a lot of people to get what they want in their lives. When I wrote my first book, my big idea was teaching guys how to get a date, okay? I'd been socially awkward and I knew the pain that other guys were experiencing. If you can get specific, okay, and you can identify a really specific result that you can help another person get, like getting a date, this even makes your big idea more powerful. So focus on something specific if you can. All right, so here's what I want you to do. On this page, there's a link where you can download an exercise. I want you to download that PDF exercise right now. Maybe print it out if you like to do things in writing. Okay, so pause the video, download the exercise, come back, and we'll continue when you've got it. So as you can see, this exercise is in the form of a set of questions for you to answer. Now I'm going to walk you through these questions, and I'm going to talk about what we're trying to get at here. Okay, so the first question is, what is it that I'm a natural genius at? And I believe everyone has a unique type of genius that is theirs and theirs alone. Okay, it has to do with your personality type, your experiences, what happened in your life. In your life, if you look around, maybe when you're hanging out with friends or you're at work, when certain types of situations come up, when certain problems need to be solved, when you need to figure certain things out, you look around and you understand that particular thing. That's your domain, okay? What is it that you're a natural genius at? If you don't know, you might just ask a few people around you. Just say, hey, what is my genius? What am I really great at? What is it that I understand how to do? What is it that I know how to do that most other people don't? And look for that, because you really want to incorporate that here. Next question. What would I teach people for free if I just had the time? Okay, so if someone showed up and said, we've got a teaching platform for you, you can teach all of these people around the world. You're not going to get paid for it, but you can just teach lots of great students. What would it be? What would you teach people? What is it that you find so easy, that comes so natural to you to do in the world, that you almost, maybe you couldn't even imagine getting paid for it? I remember we had someone working for my team years ago, and she was great at networking with people. And she was doing project management and so forth. And we realized that she was so awesome at networking with people, maybe she should just go out and network with people and help hire people to come to work with our company. And I remember she said, she basically couldn't believe that she could get paid to do that would be a role, because it was like a dream for her. What is that thing for you that's so easy and natural that you almost couldn't believe that you could get paid to do it? Next question. Where do other people make mistakes, right, but I can see? Okay, so in other words, where are other people kind of blind that you have vision? Where do you see people making mistakes? It's obvious to you what to do in those places. This is another clue about your unique genius, okay? Where do other people make mistakes, but you can see, where you understand? Here's another question I want you to answer. Where did I make a mistake before, an intuitive mistake, that now I don't make it? And this makes all the difference. Okay, so for example, my first book that I wrote was of dating advice. And early on, when I first got started learning about dating, I was making what I'll call an intuitive mistake. I was trying to basically convince women to like me. I was kind of apologizing for being there. I was insecure. I was trying to get approval. And essentially what I was trying to do is talk a woman into believing that I was a nice guy. Now, once I learned that, in a romantic dynamic, that is not very attractive, I learned how to flirt, and I learned how to make jokes and tease and have more fun. I realized, oh, that was a mistake that I was making before. That was something that was, telegraphing, I don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm scared, and it was just creating a weird vibe. Now, it's really key to identify where you used to make a mistake, but now you don't make that mistake anymore, because you understand what to do. And this can be whether it's, doing dog training, or whether it's in a hobby, or whether you're teaching someone about business, or whether you're teaching someone about spiritual development, right? We make these intuitive mistakes. If you can spot where you used to make one, you learn something and you don't make it anymore, because now you understand this is a great place to start for your big idea. Okay, when I started teaching men, for example, in my newsletters and things, how to flirt and how to tease a woman and do things that were more fun, okay, that just really changed the game. It was a really big idea. Next question. What's the result that your future students want to get in their lives? And this is key. What is the result that they want to get? What's the specific result? Okay, when it comes to dating, right, my customers who were men who wanted dates, they wanted a date, right? They wanted to get a date with a woman. In some cases, they wanted to get a girlfriend, or they wanted to get sex, or whatever it was, but there's some specific result that your customers, your students want to get. And when you can identify that specific result, okay, that makes a huge difference, because that can be part of your big idea. Next question. What's the magic bullet technique that you can teach your students so that they can get that result that they want? When I teach people how to create online courses, one of the things that I teach is to take your very best ideas and then to give them away to others for free. One of the techniques that I teach people who are creating online courses and products is a technique I call moving the free line. And when you move the free line, what you do is you give away your best ideas to others. You literally take your best ideas, your best techniques, the things that you use to get results, and then you teach them for free. A lot of people, they get surprised when they hear this, or they feel like, uh-oh, maybe this isn't going to work for me, because I don't know if I can give away my best idea for free. But this is such an important technique, because when you teach others your best idea for free, then they say, well, if this is what you're giving away, then how valuable must be the course or the training that you're doing? So right here in this video series, for example, I'm giving you some of the best stuff that I've got because I want you to see that you can do this. And then a lot of people are going to come and they're going to spend the next 90 days with me going through the action steps and the exercises and going through the live classes and the mentoring. So I ask you, what is that technique or that little tip or trick or hack that you've learned that you could teach your students to get the results that they want? Now, if you're secretly saying to yourself, I don't think that I have a big idea, okay? Here's a trick that life plays on us. The thing that we are the best at, okay, the thing that we're genius at, again, it's invisible to us. We often couldn't imagine that other people would pay us to learn about this from us because we'd tell them about it for free. And in fact, that's what we're usually doing all the time, is we're usually teaching people about our area of genius for free. For example, my wife, she is a natural at understanding romantic relationships. Now, for most of her life, she just helped her friends and the people she loved for free. But she worked in the corporate world, okay, doing a job that she wasn't really passionate about. She realized that her gift was helping people with their relationships. Okay, and she decided that she wanted to actually do that for her work. So she quit her corporate job and she started a coaching business. And now she's a love coach. And she gets paid better than she used to get paid. And she does what she loves and she does what she's great at. Okay, so finish doing this exercise and let's see if we can identify your big idea. And in our next video, we're going to take that big idea and we're going to use it as the foundation to create the outline for your online course or digital product. And then in our third video, we're going to learn how to launch a business and we're going to learn a whole bunch of business and marketing tips for growing your online course or digital product business. Okay, so tune in to our next video, leave me a comment below and share this video with others who could get value from it, and I will see you in our second video.